In the United States, there are estimated to be 9 to 10 million problem drinkers in the adult population. When we hear the word alcoholic, we immediately perceive Skid Row bum, wino, man with no willpower, a loser. I am here today to share a message with you that could save you a lot of heartache and misery. The American Medical Association calls alcohol a disease. My name is Felix Rocha. I am a recovering alcoholic, and I want to share a little story with you about the Yets. Over 30 years ago, this message was given to me, but I couldn't relate to it because it hadn't happened to me yet. When they talked about the troubles that you get into when you're drinking, I couldn't relate to that because it hadn't happened to me yet. When they talked about drinking and driving and getting into fights and messes, I couldn't relate to that because it hadn't happened to me yet. They talked about the demoralization of character, the wreckage of marriage, the loss of loved ones, the loss of respect, blackouts, guilt feelings, and loneliness. I couldn't relate to that because it hadn't happened to me yet. After 35 years of being an active, out-of-control alcoholic, I'm here to say I've experienced all the yets. But the last remaining yet of an alcoholic is insanity or death. I started my first drink when I was 14 years old. I should have known better then because when I drank, I passed out. When I was young, drinking was a lot of fun. And it was always went hand in hand with celebrations. It was my friend. And in my culture, we celebrate a lot. We have a lot of festivities. Drinking was a lot of fun, but I noticed myself getting more and more into trouble. With the escalating of problems, I pulled myself away from the public drinking, the socializing, to closet drinking. Closet drinking, that is when you drink alone. I tried all kinds of methods to control my drinking. And when I least expected, I would end up drunk. As my world crumbled around me, I knew there was no way I could control my pattern of self-destruction. But 12 years ago, I was introduced into Alcoholics Anonymous. And with the grace of God and the fellowship of the members of AA, I have brought this disease to a halt. You never do cure the disease, you just arrest it. And that's through rigorous honesty and the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. We have slogans like, easy does it, one day at a time, keep it simple, stupid. All these are slogans that we use in the tools of combating the disease. Today I have been sober for 4 years, and I've actually begun to live. It took me 8 years in AA trying to get over my denial of being an alcoholic, because it couldn't be me yet. I have finally accepted His will be done, not my will be done. Acceptance and self-honesty. In the Hispanic families, we celebrate for anything. For instance, a typical Mexican wedding would start on a Friday evening and would go all the way through Saturday, through the wedding, through the reception, through the dance. And it's one big family gathering, and it would land up into Sunday and even sometimes Monday morning. That's the way we're used to celebrating. And alcohol is okay socially in our culture, unless you abuse it. The survey from the Institute of Narcotic Addiction among Mexican Americans in the Southwest, out of 6,000 addicts who were admitted to treatment, 20% were Hispanic. 90% of these Hispanic people did not graduate from high school, and 10% did. That's 1 out of 10 that graduated from high school. 80% were unskilled laborers, workers, and 20% were skilled. That's 2 out of every 10 that were skilled workers, and the rest were unskilled. Service for Alcoholic Women estimates 9 to 10 million problem drinkers in the United States over 18 years of age. Of adults who drink, 40% can be classified as either problem drinkers or having potential problems with alcohol. Conservative estimates, number of adult women with alcohol problems are 1 to 3 million. There is help in alcoholism. Alcoholism is a family disease. If you have a problem with alcohol, there's AA. If you have a problem with somebody next to you who drinks, there's Al-Anon. And if you're a teenager with people who drink in the family, there's Alateen. And then there's alcohol, children of adult alcoholics. And it's funny, I fit every one of those categories. You can look for AA in any phone book in the country. I'll give you an address. If you can't find it in the phone book, all you have to do is write, and they'll get a hold of you. If you said to yourself, well, I was sharing, I feel like that, or I have felt like that when I was talking about my experience, or you felt uncomfortable when I was talking, then we should take a look at ourselves and be honest of our feelings so we won't have to be demoralized with alcoholism and the terrible yets. Thank you for your time.